Hello, good morning, and welcome to the show. My name is J. Richard Varvel, and I'm your host for the JRV Morning Show. Good morning, everybody. It is just after 11. We come to you live at 11 a.m. weekdays, so good morning. Welcome to those joining in and tuning in live. Good morning, Aaron. Whoop, whoop. Good morning, Monica. Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm out here at Hart Park. I decided to come out here because this evening I'm going to be doing a full moon ritual and activity starting at 7:30, and that's also going to be live, but I'm already starting to do some prep work. So part of the prep work was last night. I took a bath and added some CBD bath bombs from the Quartz Trading Company. They're divine, and as a way to really just have some time with myself in the water, really allowing the energies to move through me, really having a time of release and preparation for today. So that was fantastic last night. And then this morning, coming out here to Hart Park, we're right here by the Karn River. As you can see, it's flowing and it is full from bank to bank. And so there's lots of water, lots of energy flowing through here. So I wanted to be here. Water feels important. Also, this is a full moon in Scorpio, and this is the flower moon. And so again, I just feel like spring and flowers and water, they all go together. Beauty, flow, our intuition. And so this is just part of my preparation process, and I wanted to include you all in it as well. Just as a side note, those that are in Bakersfield and that would like to come out and be present physically for the full moon ritual and activity, just hit me up with a private message and I'll send you my address. Okay, so one of the other things I wanted to talk about before the card reading of the day was the idea that I'm just going to use myself as an example. So this morning I was experiencing some tummy issues, and which I feel is just part of the release, just part of my digestive system responding to these releasing energies of the moon and the cosmos, as well as just how my body is utilizing this time and this rhythm. My body is intelligent, and so sometimes it goes through different kinds of evacuation and clearing out activities. Some more pleasant than others. So I'll leave it at that. But my point about that, good morning, Crystal. Welcome to the show. We're just getting right into these fun conversations about just different energy symptoms that can come up. And just different, just part of life. We have a body. It has functions. It has processes. It's not always going to feel the same way every day. And so sometimes I think we have this unrealistic expectation of our body and how it's supposed to feel. And that the other flip side to that is that if we are feeling off, that somehow we are disconnected or that we have done something wrong. Like, it's very easy to go down that mind train of like, I think there is something to, certain ailments, symptoms, diseases that come up can correspond to different energies that we're carrying around. I definitely say there's a connection there. But that being said, still doesn't mean that we're cut off from our invisible self, from really, from our energy self, the one that's powering this show. We're not cut off from it. That's just something that that's an illusion, again, of our mind, of our ego, wanting to keep us feeling separated, so that way we go with the ego's way to do it versus the heart's way to do it, the way of the light. Okay, so the reason why I say all that is just because it's again very easy to think that if I'm feeling off today, that somehow something's wrong, or that somehow I'm not going to be able to give you guys the best energy reading I could give today for when I get to the card reading of the day, or somehow the meditation's going to be off because, I had tummy trouble this morning. But none of that's true. None of that's true one bit. So the fact of the matter is I am here showing up, just like you are here showing up. And showing up's the point. So if we're showing up, even if we are having tummy trouble and we're showing up, we're showing up. So that's the point. And so let's give ourselves a break here. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to process. Life is happening very fast. So as much as it might not feel very productive to take 5 minutes here or there to check in with yourself, I have to say from personal experience, it's worth it, because it's, those 5 minutes here or there when we check in with ourselves are opportunities for us to organize our thoughts, gather ourselves for a game plan, give ourselves an action plan if we are maybe getting into more of a frantic state where we're here, there, and everywhere and we're not getting anything done. Because we all of a sudden just like, there's so much to get done, and now I'm being very ineffective because I'm being unorganized. So taking those times out with ourselves, checking in, how am I doing? Those are all very important things to do for ourselves. Okay, so I've just flowed. I trust that the message has been given and all that. And we'll talk more about that. And if anybody has any questions, don't hesitate to reach out in a comment. But I feel like that's good. I feel like there was just something to me getting that out. Flowing with our experience, not judging ourselves, not overreacting, however, not ignoring either, not putting our head in the sand. I'm not saying that either. And I'm certainly not giving any kind of medical advice here. I am not a doctor, so please don't mistake anything I've said for medical advice or lack of medical advice. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify that. All right, let's do the meditation. The meditation feels good, and then we'll do the card reading of the day, and we'll see where that leads. Real quick though, I'm going to take a drink of coffee. Okay, let's go ahead and close our eyes and begin to grow roots from the base of our spine and the bottoms of our feet down into the center of Mother Earth, consciously connecting ourselves to the earth energy and becoming aware of that connection. Bringing it fully into our awareness. And you might think, oh, Jay, we do this all the time. We always ground and grow roots. Like, can't we do something else? And yeah, of course, there's other ways to ground, such as what I'm doing out here, coming out here to the park. There's putting your feet in the grass, putting your feet in the sand, taking a bath, drinking ginger tea. Those are just ones that come into mind right now. But there's so many ways to ground. This is just one, and I just want to use a consistent fashion, and one that you can use whether you are out in nature yourself or whether you happen to be inside. And for me, growing the roots, that feels most efficient and effective. But you know what, just like changing our gold and silver ball of light into our personal suns, just how that changed and shifted over time, who knows, on the roots. But for now, we're growing roots from the base of our spine and the bottoms of our feet. And I would like you to extend your gratitude and appreciation to the earth. She's awake, she's aware, she's alive, and she loves to connect with us in this way. I would like you also to feel in to the flowing energies of today, these full moon energies. Very watery, very emotional. Know that you might be easily triggered, others around you might be easily triggered, and maybe give yourself and those around you an extra beat, an extra deep breath before responding to those things that might be extra triggering today. Knowing that a little dose of compassion goes a long way, as well as a smile. All right, Let's smile at ourselves right now. Yes. Okay, I love it. All right. Let's become aware of our personal sun that is located within the center of our heart space. And I would like you to imagine this personal sun growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, growing past your physical body, growing bigger and bigger. We're growing it out to 13 feet today. Yes, magical number 13. Let's take a deep breath together. Another one. Filling up that tummy. Relaxing those shoulders. Yes. Okay. Let's take a moment and feel into our personal energy field. We are within our own personal sun, and it is being animated from the infinite awareness, our connection to the source creator energies within us. And we are a literal portal of this light, and it is radiating out throughout our personal sun. And just as the sun radiates light, so do we. We are far more powerful than we've given ourselves credit for. And I don't mean that from an ego standpoint where we need to dominate anyone or control anyone or manipulate anyone to attain power. And it's really not even about power over anyone else or anything else. I'm talking about the power that comes from being able to be ourselves, speak our truth, and the power that comes from within us when we're being free, when we're living freedom. When it's no longer about the laws of our country or that country or the size of the military, when we bring it right back to ourselves. And when we are choosing to operate within freedom because we have freed ourselves, and when more and more of us continue to do that for ourselves, that's what will continue to spread freedom on the planet. True freedom. Freedom that doesn't require a law to say that we're free. And it starts with each one of us. Reinforcing that connection with ourselves, loving ourselves, doing crazy things like giving ourselves a big hug, and loving every moment of it. Telling yourself that you're doing a great job today because you can. And because if you're not doing that for yourself, why are you waiting to hear it from anyone else outside of you? Just do it for yourself. Keep going. Keep on moving. The best validation is the only validation we can give ourselves. All right. Feels very good to be in our personal suns. I'm very much enjoying being in this energy and joining forces with all of you in this community of light, of unconditional love and compassion, a place filled of joy, happiness and appreciation for not only my own uniqueness, but all of your uniqueness as well. knowing that we are all worthy, deserving, totally lovable, and we all matter, each and every one of us, even when we're not acting like it. Today feels appropriate just to really continue to be in this flow, allowing these energies to move. And as I say that, I'm tuning into the sun energies, our own solar system sun. So bring the sun into your awareness as well, the sun in our solar system. That is also tuning our energy field and frequency to the highest and fastest energies that we can tune to in this now moment. Yes? And take a moment to ask yourself, how are you doing today? And take some time to listen to yourself. All right, wonderful. As a reminder, this is a space and place that we can come to and be in, whether we are in a peaceful state like this out in a park with a wonderful river flowing, or at a beach, but it can also be at our work, in our cubicle, in our office, at our home office. Taking a couple minutes to bring ourselves into this space and remind ourselves that we are connected and we are the ones that are energizing our world. And checking in to see, is there any reorienting, redirecting that wants to happen now, that wants to happen here? Are all systems go? Yes? Okay. Yes. Okay. Great job, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank yourself. Give yourself a big hug. Give yourself a pat on the back. Thank your Light Align team. Yes. Thank the earth, the cosmos, the universal forces of love and light. Go ahead and wingle. Wait. That's funny. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes whenever you are ready. I like that. Wingle. That's a new one. All right. I crack myself up sometimes. And it doesn't take much. All right, so card reading of the day. Thank you for whoever sent that heart across the screen. I appreciate it. All right, energies. Card that represents the energies of today, highest and best good for the collective. Let's see. Ooh. Ah, the big card. Let me just get these back in the bag before I tell you what it is. Ah, come on. Okay, Awakening is the card. And I also feel a lot of third eye energy in this card, as well as crown energy. So there's lots of activity going on in our minds, some rewiring. I know for myself personally, I've been feeling pain, especially right in here. And I pulled the third eye card in a personal reading for myself. And I had already figured I was having some third eye activations, where that was just confirmation, and I just continue to see that within this card as well. But that's part of our activations, our spiritual sight, continuing to manifest that anew in spectacular ways, as well as again, more of the fine-tuning process that we're all going through. We're all at different phases and places within this experience. And again, there is no right or wrong, or someone's better than we are at in their process and I'm worse than they, or, you know, because they've done this and that school, that somehow, oh, I must now put them on a pedestal. Nonsense. Not that I'm not about respecting people. I don't think that, you know, but at the same time, I don't think that respect means that I need to put them above me. And I don't believe, this is all me personally, don't believe that just because someone has gone through school for something and become a quote-unquote expert invalidates my own intuition about something. I may or may not agree, and it's important for me to be able to trust that, and because there's something in that process for me, and potentially for you. I don't know that it's, you know, I think that even if we do consult these different experts, that's great. It's nice to get informed, to gain understanding, to be able to ask questions. But at the end of the day, we're the ones that, especially if we're at a doctor and we're going to have a procedure or we're going to take a medicine, you know, at the end of the day, we're the ones that are actually going to be taking the medicine or having the procedure. And so it's very important for us to know what we're getting ourselves into, you know, know what all the options are. You know, have we sought out all the options? Are there other ones? Are we comfortable with showing up? You know, are we engaging ourselves in this way, or are we just going in and then just kind of like going through the DMV line? I see, like, okay, you go to window 18 now. Okay, now you go to window 27. Okay, you finish at 47. Okay, you're out. And you're just kind of like a robot going through the system just like everybody else. You know, kind of like, I sometimes feel that, like, in the past, going to the doctor, like, oh, I'm waiting in the waiting room. Now I've checked in, done that process. Now I'm like robot waiting in the back room in my own little room. And then it's, now I need to maybe go get an x-ray, or now, I maybe need to go get a test. So we gotta go, you know, it's just, I don't even know why I'm going down that rabbit hole, other than the fact that it's very easy to get in these lanes of energy I'm seeing, and just go with the flow, these social flows. So what is coming up here, part of this awakening process, is to understand there are flows that are beyond those social flows that we can tune into. So that's why I said all that. Big J's like, so the point is, what flow are we in? Are we in our own flow, which I see as being in the greater flow, or are we somehow in some kind of like eddy? You know, this river's flowing, and right here there's this little area next to me that water's just kind of like hanging out. Yeah, it's flowing slowly through here, this little eddy, but it's hanging out. So in the very same way, some of these social structures, I don't know what's going on. Some of these social structures, these systems of success, these pathways to the corporate hierarchy, and all these different earthly systems that are in place, the government, the medical system, the pharmaceutical industry, the New Age movement, the religious movement, all these different big, huge structures that millions of people are following. It's very easy to just fill into that lane and feel like that's the flow. Oh, everyone's flowing over here. It feels like this is the flow. So again, discernment. Is this the flow? Is this my flow? Or is this just everyone following each other off the cliff? And there's no right or wrong answer here. So I'm just throwing that out there for you to contemplate and think about as part of this energy. This awakening energy isn't about someone telling you everything. This awakening energy is about you having your own experience with the energies and you raising yourself up in consciousness and answering your own questions. And if you aren't asking yourself questions, then that's part of the issue as well, because the universe has nothing to answer if you're not asking. All right, so that's the card reading of the day. Whew, all right. I don't even know what to say. That was a good reading. I felt just from Human Jay's perspective on that. That was a flow I haven't been in a while. So I trust that you all got that message on all the many levels that it was being delivered. And please don't hesitate to ask any questions, because I think a big part of what I'm about is the discussion of spirit, of these energies moving through us, and what does that feel like, and what is going on in our experience, so that way we can begin to normalize what's going on and begin to talk about it. And so that way we're not all just having our own little experience that's like where we're all being our own little satellite. I'm about sharing, so I just want to open that up. I don't feel like I am the be all and end all. I say that often. This is my view, my perspective, including coming from Big J. It is Big J's perspective, tuning into these streams of consciousness when they come through, and so yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. This full moon's working on me. I can feel it already. And so Monica says, "Thank you, Jay. Big hugs. Love you. I love you as well." So thank you for all joining me this morning live. It was an interesting one for me. I feel like there's some fine-tuning and some adjustments being made for me within this process, and within what wants to be delivered through me. And so thank you for being patient and flexible as I'm also making these adjustments. Just as, again, reminding everyone, it's not about perfection. It's about starting. Hummingbird. Well, at least you guys caught it for like a hot second. Anyways, so it's not about perfection. It's about starting from where you are and moment to moment checking in with yourself, asking yourself, following the breadcrumbs from the universe, and doing in this whole idea of doing and being, where we're doing the action step that we just got from the being part, and then we get that activity done, and then we're back to some contemplation. Okay, what's the next big step? Then we go do it, and then what's the next big step? In this constant flow. Sometimes we might that contemplation step might be an all-day thing. Sometimes that contemplation step might be for 30 seconds. And it's knowing that we can flow with ourselves and our intuition, and we can really be walking around in our expanded state all the time. Like I do. I don't just tune in here at the show and then I shut off and I'm, compartmentalized. I don't compartmentalize myself. I compartmentalized myself when I was people pleaser Jay. That's how I ran things then. Now I figured out I can be Jay all the time, everywhere, with everyone, the same Jay. And it's far more fun for me, as well as I don't lose myself in the process. Okay, so that's that. I don't see anybody requesting any readings. And so unless anybody does that in the next minute or so, I'm going to be wrapping up the show. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight is the full moon ritual and activity. It starts on Facebook Live at 7:30 p.m. And I have it going till 9. It may not go that long. I just put that out there. It may just go an hour. And of course, if you're tuning in live, you can enter and exit at will. I love that freedom, as well as join in the archives on your own time. The other part is if you live in Bakersfield and you would like to come and join me live at my private residence over here on the east side of town, send me a private message and let me know you're interested, and we'll take it from there. All right, so again, thank you so much for tuning in and joining me. And Monica says yes to a card reading. So let me grab the cards. All right, Monica, highest and best good. I hear some squirrels talking. Okay, nectar of life. Again, that's nectar, like of life. Anyhow, the goodness, the sweetness, the joys, the wholeness, the fullness of life, and the peace that goes beyond all understanding when we are able to look at the totality of our life and our life experience and be able to understand the purpose behind it all, and understand that each and every experience has brought us to each and every now moment that we happen to find ourselves in, and that it's all tied together with this little teeny string that we can't see, but it's all tied together, and it's this unfolding experience from one experience to the next, and the next. And so kind of with that idea I was talking about earlier, where even when we're having a more unconscious kind of day, or we're really bogged down with our physical symptoms, and how we can feel like because of that somehow we are disconnected. No, not true. The fact of the matter is we're still always on our own unfolding journey, moving from the next experience to the next experience to the next experience, and they are all in a carefully designed flow, very synchronistic, all wound in with everyone else and everything else, and as well, so what's magical about it, I see, is that not only are you on your own time, you're within the universal time, the freedom of universal time. And that's the magic that's like just so far beyond our comprehension, is this whole idea is like, okay, how can we be a part of these unfolding experiences with free will? How can that all be going from one to the next to the next to the next? And yet how can I still have freedom in that? Well, that's a paradox that I don't know that I'm going to be able to explain to you right now. But what I can say is that from what I can see in that is that right now, it's not the point right now. It's not the point. The point is we can spend a lot of time trying to figure that out, trying to figure out the way that wheel is turning, trying to figure out how that universe is working for us. And we can spend so much time waiting around and looking for things, waiting for things to be just so, and then we can really miss the magic. We can miss the nectar of life that is right here in front of us. And so I say all that, Monica, for you, to bring it to you personally. I know that you are working through some challenging experiences, and you are in the midst of a transition from being able to step out of more pain and suffering that you have been walking around in, and step into a life of more freedom, a rebirth of sorts for yourself. And in this transition, it is a little tricky because the best thing you can do is to dream big, to continue to move forward, to continue to ask yourself and check in, what's best for me here now? what's the best next move for me here now, and that constant moment to moment checking in with yourself. Allowing yourself to feel yourself, allowing yourself to tune into the nectar of life, allowing yourself to keep that conscious connection to your flow, to continue to take you past what you know to be possible, to take you into an experience that's beyond what you know because you've just never been there before. It's not that there's anything wrong with it you don't know. It's just the fact that I see you're taking yourself into an experience, into a life experience that is so far beyond what you're used to, your usual, so to speak, that it's feeling very uncomfortable for you. And this is the trick for all of us. So this is some guidance for all of us. So it can be difficult to take that step over into that new world of unknowns. You know, even though we know, we can feel. We know it's good over there. There's something for us over there. But then there's the part of us that's like, but I know what to expect over here. You know, I'm comfortable. Yeah, things aren't perfect, but I know what's going on. I know what to expect. I know what they're going to say. I know what they're going to do. I have some kind of control over this. So, you know, is it really bad? Do I really want to deal with the unknown when I know what's going on over here? All these are choices you get to make, moment to moment, and there's no right or wrong answer. I say all this because I feel like you want to continue to make this shift into the unknown, and I just say that this is a confirmation to keep going. The richness of life, the satisfaction of life, the ability to feel life in a whole new and different way is available, not only through the experience that you're in right this now minute, but the unfolding experience that you're in right now in totality. So no matter what, there's no right or wrong, but follow your heart, follow your joy, follow your happiness. Do your best even in the midst of the challenges to see the best in what's unfolding. Ask yourself, okay, I know my humanness doesn't see the benefit here. So I'm asking for Big Monica to show me what's going on. What's the real dealio? Help me see with the new eyes, new fresh perspective, hear with new ears, so I can have a better understanding of what's going on here. Okay, that feels complete. I love you lots, and thank you for being brave and courageous to ask for a card reading. Okay, so that feels complete for today, guys. I love you all so much, and I'm so grateful that you tune in with me in the mornings at 11 and join forces with me, join forces in love and light to really ground and look at these spiritual energies, these spiritual forces in a whole new and different way, and make them more real for ourselves. All right, I love you all. I'm surrounding you all with a big, huge, giant hug of love. Until tomorrow until tonight at 7:30. We'll see you live at 7:30, and then we will be back tomorrow at 11. Bye, everybody. See you later tonight.